Hi guys, this is Dr. Farjana. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Like always, it's such an honor to connect with you. Today I want to talk about how to recover from a big marital disagreement. How to recover from a big marital disagreement. I cannot emphasize the importance of couples therapy. I cannot emphasize the importance of couples therapy. Please engage in couples therapy. I understand you all live busy lives, but you have to make a commitment to work on your relationship. Just like in any relationship, you need to put in the work. Marriage also needs that time as well, right? That objective time to deconstruct a lot of those layers involved in a marriage. Remember, marriage isn't just about two people. It's about raising kids. It's about your biological families and what you bring into that marriage through that biological family interaction. It's about finances. There's so many layers, and there needs to be a space where those conversations can take place in an objective way versus emotional. And therapists can help regulate those emotional aspects when you're talking about these very important aspects of your marriage, right? Next, remind yourself that sometimes conflict becomes very comforting. Conflict becomes very comforting in marriages. We live in a society where rush, drama, problems, right? People start relating in this way, right? Because our egos are on such high, on extreme levels, our egos, and society is built in a way that conflict is normalized now. Conflict, dissension, suffering is normalized. So many times in relationships, conflict becomes comforting. This is how we start to relate with each other. This is how you start to relate with one another. And then it becomes this self-validating process where you start validating it just becomes this dysfunctional cycle, right? Where it just becomes self-validating. Individuals start reinforcing that victim status, right? Okay, yeah, he did this to me. My wife did this to me. My husband did this to me. So we become that victim, right? It just reinforces that. It validates that victim status. So how do we get out of a situation where we just had a big marital disagreement? How do you get out of it? How do you get out of it? Number one, it's important to remind yourself of your common goal. Why did you get married in the first place? Go back to that. Why did you get married in the first place? Right? What's each of your purpose in this marriage? Remind yourself, what's each of your purpose in this marriage? I want you to write these things down. What's the common goal? What's each of your purpose in this marriage? What legacy do you want to leave behind as a couple? What legacy do you want to leave behind as a couple? Right? What can be the root cause of the problems? Because remember, this conflict that you're having, right, with the extended family, if that's involved, biological family, finances, these are all symptoms, right? You have to get back to the root cause of the problem. What's going on? Are you guys able to communicate well, right? So reminding yourself that there has to be a safe space to share concerns, communicating desires, and having your own individual lives, right? And respecting each other's own individual lives. So reminding ourselves that, hey, when we first got married, we were attracted to each other because of our individual lives, right? So as you get married, you still want to have that individual life in the sense that you still want to have your own hobbies separate from each other, right? You want to read your own books separate from each other. So you have things to talk about, things to share with each other, right? So now moving forward, what can you do as this big blowout or argument occurred? What can you do? Right? Number one, book a session with a couples therapist. Have one that you continuously, if it's not once a week, bi-weekly, or at least once a month. At least once a month. You can commit to that. Remind yourself that, again, like I said, it's not usually about you. If your spouse is mad at you or upset at you, or vice versa, there's something more deeper going on. So remind yourself of that. and at getting to that root cause. Even though this has occurred, provide your home with stability, right? Still continue on, maintain that stability in the sense, show up, be there for your kids, do the right thing, continue on with your prayers, your exercise, whatever you do, provide your home with the stability, right? Continue that. Continue on the train of stability. You're not getting off that train of stability. Yes, something happened. Yes, things were sad, but you're still going to maintain the home. Next, still be powerful. Do not close. Do not store it inside. Process it the way you need to. So if you are the partner, one of the partners in this relationship, go get your individual therapy done. Go exercise. Go get a massage. Process it. Do not add extra pressure. Say to yourself, I'm not putting any more inside of me. I'm not putting any more stress inside of me. Have that mindset where this is not going to be normalized, right? Next, communicate kindly. Take your time, but when you're ready, communicate kindly and directly. Remind yourself this will take time, right? Therapy, individual and couples therapy doesn't happen overnight. You won't see the benefits right away. It will take time. Stability is key, and remind yourself not to participate in the convolution, right? So sometimes a lot of things when you are arguing gets convoluted, right? Where it's not about you and your partner anymore. It's about his mom or her mom. It's about the brother-in-law. It becomes very convoluted. Don't participate in the convolution, okay? Remind yourself that it's not personal. Again, it's not personal. Detach and pretend like you're watching a movie. Don't personalize it, right? Very important. Don't personalize it. And secondly, do not participate in the convolution. Step back and pretend like you're watching a movie. Like you step back and you're watching everything else happening outside of yourself, right? Like a TV screen, okay? Also, mean things were said, of course, right? Because the individual or you both were in very lower vibrations. So remind yourself, if let's say you ruminate over what the person said, or your spouse said, or your partner said, you can say, it was just air, release it. Air. So like if you remember those mean comments, just air. Breathe in, breathe out, release it. When you do engage in your couple session and things are cool, when things have cooled off, call out the dysfunction, right? Don't enable, don't coddle. Do not enable and do not coddle. Call out the dysfunction like, hey, this was not okay. When you did this was not okay, right? Next, be present for your kids when you are home. If there are kids involved. Letting go doesn't mean you stay quiet. As I said, you call out the dysfunction. Yes, you don't want to store it, but letting go does not mean that you stay quiet, right? Remind yourself that you may have had a hard beginning in your marriage, or things might be hard right now. Process it. Don't fight it in the sense that let it pass through you. Don't store it. But you can both decide on the ending. This is very important. You may have had a hard beginning, right? Or a hard time right now, but you both can decide on the ending. Okay? This is a joint effort, right? And when disagreements occur, you maintain your values. When disagreements occur, you maintain your values. If disrespect is coming into play, you can leave the room. You can say, I cannot speak right now because I feel disrespected. I will speak to you later, right? You don't have to stay there and take it. You don't have to stay there and take it. And lastly, regardless of what they're doing, like I mentioned earlier, do not lose your values. Show them who you are, right? Right? Someone becomes vengeful and someone becomes spiteful. You don't have to join their train of negativity. You can just speak up and say, I don't appreciate these comments, and move away, walk away, leave the house, right? Whatever the situation was, show them who you are, meaning in the sense, don't lose your values. Don't lose who you are. All right, guys? Again, I cannot stress the importance of couples therapy. I hope you do take advantage of it. Every couple needs it because we all need that time to discuss those big issues, big emotions, right? You are two individuals trying to create a life together. And creating a life together isn't easy because you come with your own stuff. You come with your own stuff. So in addition to working with your own stuff, working through your own stuff and processing it and releasing it, right? You also have to work through your joint stuff, right? Your joint stuff that sometimes becomes convoluted because of your individual stuff. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. You guys are amazing. You got this. I believe in you, okay? I have complete faith in you. Take care of yourself. I have complete faith in your relationship as well. Take care.